Hey guys, Dave here. Well, I'm kind of excited to make this video. Actually, I was contacted by a company called Inoviva, and they said, well, if we send you a slushy machine, will you make a video? And I said, sure. And that was kind of exciting in and of itself. And then I got looking at the machine when it arrived and all the functions. And that's what made it really exciting, the machine itself and all the features, the functions, and the simplicity. So first off, the machine itself is kind of a sleek gray color that fits in the decor of any kitchen, which I kind of like. It's a hardcore plastic, which is very durable and works extremely well. Has some great functions. And if you look at the front here, we just have the on and off switch. We turn it on. And what we have here is we have some slushy, we have some frappe, we have a milkshake, we have a cocktail, we have wine, and then it's got a self-clean feature. So it's just a matter of pouring the stuff in, which we'll do in a minute, starting the machine up, selecting the function, and then going from there. And the thing I found really impressive too, when the machine arrived, is basically plug and play. I mean, there is no assembly required whatsoever. The only thing you have to do is put the handle on and then put the tray underneath, and that's about it. So let's get started and make something up. Now, in order to make a slushie, and there are several recipes in the booklet, which we'll look at in a minute, but you can just take anything you've got on hand as long as it has a 5% sugar content. So you can take just Coca-Cola, you could take grape, you could take orange, you could take root beer, anything like that. Put it in the chute and then just make a slushie out of that. So today I'm just going to take some plain old Coca-Cola, not diet. Don't use diet because it won't have the sugar content. Plain old Coca-Cola, and we're going to make a slushie out of this. So what I'm going to do here, guys, is open my Coca-Cola bottle, and I'm going to go right into the chute, which is right here. And I'm going to pour this in, hopefully not spill it all over the place. And I'm not making a whole lot. I'm just making a couple for, or I should say, slushy for a couple of people. So I'm just going to fill this up to the minimum. You know, if you're doing 4 or 5 people or serving 4 or 5 people, you can go to the max. So just about to the minimum here, which I'll show you. Now, it's a little hard to see because the Coke is a dark color and the minimum's dark too. But it is just a little above the minimum, and that's all we need. And I'm making sure this Coke is really cold because it'll take less time. So we're just going to close the sheet or the chute, fire up the machine here, and I'm going to hit slushy. And then there's your thickness level here. Now I try to keep it basically about in the middle somewhere, because if you have it too thick, you pretty well have to use a spoon to drink it with. Then just a matter of hitting the start button. Now, as you can see, the auger itself, which I call it, is beginning to turn, but this actual silver drum in here is what cools the liquid off and actually makes the slushy. Now, the thing is, they tell you in the manual, if the sugar content is too low, you're going to hear this rubbing machine, this constant rubbing noise in the machine. So just be careful. But I know this Coke is above 5% sugar. Well, our Coke slushie is going there. The unit does come with a quick start guide or a quick reference guide that has basically everything you want to know to get started, and it's pretty detailed. And the actual user manual itself is fairly detailed. It shows you basically everything about the machine, the do's, the don'ts, your whole display pattern here, cleaning, etc., etc. But the most exciting part, here's your problem guide. The most exciting part is some of the recipe inspirations. And here you have a soda slushie, which we're making today. And you have your strawberry, your cranberry strawberry, your tropical slushie, your coffee frappe, which we're going to try today. This looks really good. The cold cocoa milkshake, I have to try that. We're not going to try that today. So it is really quite a useful instruction manual and recipe guide. As we look here, guys, you'll see that the ice is beginning to form in there. But that means we are beginning to make the slushie. And of course, some ice is going to form around this drum too, which is kind of a cool process. Okay, after about 25 minutes or so, the machine has beeped at me and we are ready. So let's pour our slushie out. And just look at this, guys, a Coke slushie. No ice needed. Just let the machine do all the work. Absolutely fantastic. And that's our first one, guys, our Coke slushie. Ever so good, ever so refreshing, and so simple and easy. Okay, we've got our Coke float, and believe me, It's not really a Coke float, it's just a Coke slushie, but it is so good. So now we're gonna go ahead and do the self-cleaning on the machine, and I'll show you that feature. First off, I'm gonna fill the machine with some warm water, and this is, I guess about bath temperature, maybe 120, something like that. And we're gonna fill this up to the max. And if we look here on the side, we can see it filling. Okie dokie, we're up to the max here, so I'm gonna close the sheet, on with the machine, and just hit the clean button and start. And this will go for about 10 or 15 minutes, something like that, and then shut off and beep at you, and we're cleaned. Now, after 10 minutes, the machine is beeped and shut off. We should be self-cleaned, and we shall just pour the water out and discard it. All right, I got the old Coke float down, so it's time to make a coffee frappe. So to do this, I'm just following the instructions in the booklet. We're going to go with 2 cups of black coffee, so just brew this up beforehand. And I put this in the freezer for a bit just to get it good and cold. Then what we'll do is we'll follow this up with a cup of half and half, and that's about 10% fat in that. A third of a cup of white granulated sugar, and that's where we're getting our sugar content. And then a little tiny dash, maybe half a teaspoon, even that, of vanilla extract. Grab up our old whisk, and we'll just mix everything together here. And this is going to make 2 to 3 servings. The recipe calls for bigger portions, up to 6 servings, but we're just going to go 2 or 3 today. Open up the chute, and in we go to our slushy machine ever so carefully, or not so carefully. I think this is going to be so good. I have to invite the neighbors over, maybe. Great for a party. On with the machine, and the great thing about this, if you just hit frappe and hit, it automatically selects the texture or the thickness and start. And as we're making our frappe, guys, you can see on the side the low sugar alert, just exactly what the machine will do if it's less than 5% sugar. And there is, if you're adding alcohol, I think it's probably some Irish cream or something like that would be nice in this. But it's got to be greater than 2.8% alcohol or less than 16 total alcohol, because I guess that'll stop the alcohol from freezing, or stop the slushy from freezing if the alcohol content is too high. But we are looking good here. Just look at that. All right, my friends, the machine has chirped at me, indicating it's done. It's been about 18 minutes. Just look at that frappe come out of there. I think this is going to be so yumsicle and delicious. And of course, we're going to go over the top with some whipped cream. Oh man alive, just look at this. And of course, a little dusting of cocoa over the top to add that absolute perfection. Wow. And that, my friends, is our coffee frappe. Guys, this frappe is so good. The neighbors are over there. You want a frappe? What's that? Beer. Well, maybe I can whip up a beer slushie. We could do something like that. Anyway, this is so good. You are going to love this. Great for social events, great for parties, even great for the office. So let's go in and make our last slushie. All right, guys, after doing the frappe, I've gone through the self-cleaning cycle, but I just want to show you how easy the unit is to take apart. It's just a matter of pulling the handle back, and then you just pull the fill port out, then off with the stir blade. Then what I'm going to do is just wipe down the evaporator, or the drum as I call it, with some mild water, just basically at room temperature. And the stir blade and the fill pot here, this can either go in the dishwasher, but I'm just going to take it over to the sink and rinse it out. Okie dokie, I am enjoying this coffee frappe. But anyway, for our next and last cocktail, I'm going to be doing not cocktail, but actual drink or slushy. I'm going to be doing a cranberry ginger ale cocktail, I guess. Just a matter of mixing some cranberry and some ginger ale, and it'll be a really simple slushy. So I'm just going to eyeball this, and I'm going to pour some cranberry juice. This is just the ocean cocktail, but you can use whatever your little heart desires. And I guess I'm going to fill this so maybe about halfway up, something like that. And then I'm simply going to go in with some ginger ale. And like I say, I'm just eyeballing this. There's no specific measurements here. Then on with the machine. And of course, I'm going to select slushy. I'll keep it about the same thickness level and start. Okay, well, the slushy's going here. We're just going to review some of the features of the machine again. It's got 5 preset functions, so you can make a frappe, a milkshake, whatever you like. It's simple, easy to use. You've got your one-button features. Let's go ahead and press the button. Temperature control, and it's easy to clean. You've got your automatic cleaning, or you can do the manual clean. It's all dishwasher safe. And last but not least, it is great for parties, office, or any other scenario. Our cranberry ginger ale cocktail or cranberry ginger ale slushie is pretty much done here. So let's pour this into a fancy dancy glass. Uh-oh. Look at this, my friends. Absolutely fantastic. I'm impressed. And one thing I forgot to mention before we conclude that there is a childproof feature on here. So if you have trouble stopping or starting the machine, just make sure you hit this button and then all your functions are back up and running. And there's our third slushie, our cranberry ginger ale cocktail. Should really have a straw, but I'm just going to do it like this. Mmm. Mmm. This is really good. And like I say, to this one, you can even add some alcohol too, but what a great slushie. Machine does a fantastic job. So that's our review of the Inoviva Slushie Machine, guys. Personally, I think it's a great machine. I think it's well worthwhile, but you can virtually make anything with it. Like I said, just make a pop slushie, or you can do alcohol, just about anything you want. Well worth it. Everything is in the description section below. Thanks for watching, guys. Enjoy your day. And I forgot to mention, it'd be great for around the bar, just sit it on your bar. But anyway, enjoy your day, and we'll see you in the next video.